All right, y'all, we'll give praise, esteem, and honor to the living Alahym in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach today. Pick it up in John 5:39. So search the scriptures. For in them you think you have eternal life, and there they was testified me, and you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Alahym in you. I come in my Abba's name, you receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one from another, and not the honor that comes from Alahym only? Do not think that I will accuse you. The Abba, there is one that accused you, even Moses, in whom you trust. Had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how should you believe my words? Psalms 51. Praise the Lord. Psalm 51:6. I said, behold, you desire truth in the hidden part, in the inward parts, and in the hidden part you shall make me to know wisdom. Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow. Make me to hear joy and gladness, that the bones which you have broken may rejoice. Hide your face from my sins and blot out all my iniquities, and create in me a clean heart, O Alahym, and renew a right ruach within me. What was somewhere else that we had to make sure we didn't got our thoughts? Well, screw it. Let's go on straight over here to Matthew chapter 18. Matthew 18:18. Truly, truly, I say unto you that whatsoever you shall bind on earth shall be bound in Shamahim. Whatsoever you shall loose on earth, shalom, man, shall be loosed in Shamahim. And I say unto you that if two of you shall agree on earth as touching anything that they shall ask, it shall be done for them of my Abba, which is in Shamahim. Let's look at agree first and foremost. Now, this is agree together. The Greek word here is somfuno, to agree in one, making an agreement, to bargain. So now here is your question. Where can you see in the text, no New Testament allowed, please, no New Testament allowed, please, two people speaking on the same matter, agreeing in one? And I'm talking about two people, same matter, agreeing in one. And with the caveat that Yahuwah performed what they agreed on. Meaning if they agreed on it, that Hebrew equivalent for that word for agreed is a kod, they would be one. David and Jonathan. But what did they ask for? Did they ask for anything?
You made it tough, you know?
Or did they ask for anything?
I want to look at it. Rephrase. I ain't hear you say that.
It was Shalom, man. Exactly what's in the verse. Two agreeing in one and asking something of Alahym, and he doing it for them. Why do two have to agree on the matter? No, don't look away now. You eating cheesecake? Is that potato salad? Oh, I thought you might have been eating potato salad raw. White people, raisins. Oh, you don't know neither. So what? Two witnesses. What about them? I said no New Testament.
You said two people. You saw him in the room.
Come over here to Deuteronomy 18:18, just for why he say two got to agree. That should have been the easy one. What's it, Deuteronomy 19? Let's Deuteronomy 19. 19 and 15, if you would. Deuteronomy 19 and 15. One witness shall not rise up against a man for any iniquity or for any sin, and any sin that he sinned. At the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses shall the matter be established. No. That's not what you meant. You know exactly what you meant. You meant Revelation chapter 11. You can go ahead and stare at the wall for telling stories.
No, I didn't.
Telling stories. But yeah, I mean, that's the simple part. That part right there, you can't use that to duck out on the original question. The original question is, name 2 people who agreed on a matter. And okay, we don't move past that because you tell the story. And they asked of Yahuwah of a matter, and it was granted unto them.
Abraham and what?
Well, Sarah didn't ask for an heir. At least it doesn't state it. She didn't ask.
I was thinking about it. I thought she was praying that she wouldn't be barren.
No, there's nothing in there about it. It just says she was barren. And Abraham stating that he would like an heir. And then Yahuwah approached him about that. And he said, you will not, this here Eliezer from Damascus will not be your heir, but it'll be one out of your own bowels. Matter of fact, she's not even mentioned at that point, other than her being his wife. When that promise gets made.
I was looking at she gave him a handmaid that he could. So I was implying that she wanted.
Yeah, but she gave the handmaid after he had went to Yahuwah and said, I don't have an heir in my house, say Eliezer of Damascus.
2 other individuals have to ask the same question.
I mean, they have to agree. They have to be one on the same matter.
I was thinking about Hezekiah and Isaiah.
What were they agreement on?
Hezekiah wanted clarification about going to war. Should he go to war because that?
Well, that wasn't Hezekiah. That was Jehoshaphat fooling with Ahab. Somebody had to know. Hezekiah was finna die.
Yeah, it was that one. I thought he was about to go to war too, though. I mean, his story. Hezekiah was going to war, then that's the king was putting fear in everybody's hearts.
Oh, that was Serenity.
Yeah,
but that's
Hezekiah inquired.
But see, not inquiring. You got 2 people that they agree on a matter, and see, you looking at asking what we should do when you got 2 people who they agree together on a matter.
Okay, I'm just trying to understand the question. I got you.
Shalom, man. So one of the first places you can see that at, because we read it last night. I'm gonna put it this way. Do we want to use that? Is there going to be some specifics for it? Not necessarily. Well, the first time you may see that. Well, not the first time. You got Moses and Aaron. Do you know what 2 things that Moses and Aaron asked of Yahuwah, and he did that on their behalf because they agreed as one? Can anyone tell me? Also, you have one with Moses and the Levites. Shalom, Sharon. Well, they agreed in one, and Yahuwah moved on their behalf. You can say Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob if you so chose, because they agreed in one. I'm trying to remember who else. There's so many individuals coming to my brain.
No. I need you to sit down and be quiet.
You have Solomon and the whole house of Yasharal in 1 Kings chapter 8, with his prayer that he made to Yahuwah, that everybody agreed in one. You got Exodus 24 with Moses and the whole congregation when he sanctified the covenant, and everybody agreed in one. What did they say with Moses when they agreed in one? The one with Moses and the Levites is after he came down off the mount. Yeah, Elijah and Elisha do count because they agreed in one.
What they asked for.
Elisha asked for a double portion of his spirit.
But Elijah I'm confused.
But he agreed on that because he said, you asked a hard thing. Nevertheless, if you see me when I depart, it shall be done unto you. Therefore, they agreed in one on the matter. Let's look at that one because that's a little bit more easier. 2 Kings chapter 2. When you're looking at agreed, they have to be one on the request. So you look at Moses and the Levites in Exodus, what that is. Is that 32?
When they said sprinkle the blood?
No, when he came out on the mount and the people were worshiping the golden calf, and he said, who is on Yahuwah's side? And the Levites came over and agreed in one because Moses' wrath waxed high. So he was looking for some punishment. Look at this nigga here. Boy, they said you had COVID, boy. He want to call it the sniffle. They said you had that virus. Not immune deficiency.
Trying to look out for the people.
They say can't nobody help your immune system weak.
Little OJ, little sea moss. That's why I ran out of sea moss. Right?
This thing talking about some sea moss.
Right.
So you an earthy nigga, as that nigga like to say. You like to walk around with sandals on.
At the barbecue.
You like what they call it? Earthing. Walk around barefoot. I gotta feel the land. We know you like the earth because boy, we were walking down Murder, boy, you look like a nigga granddaddy.
You walking down Murder?
Oh, you was in your element walking down Murder?
Yeah. I took that walk many days.
2 Kings chapter 2 and verse 1. This jungle word easier. It'll tie into some stuff we talked about last night anyway. When you got with Moses and Aaron, that's Exodus chapter 4. When they agreed in one with the signs that Yahuwah showed them and the manifestation of those signs to the people that the people might believe that they were coming from up out of that. You got to remember, Moses agreed, but did Moses want to manifest those signs to the people or not? Because he ended up pissing Yahuwah off. And how did he do so? Because he kept making excuses on why he couldn't do it. I'm slow in speech. I'm this, I'm that. He said, yeah, I know your brother speak well, and he about to come around the corner. So in order for Aaron to be able to do it, he has to agree in one, and then they agreed in one together and perform the work. And Yahuwah manifested those signs. See, signs can't be manifested if nobody don't agree. Remember, agreeing, you have to take away agree in the aspect of English, and remember that Greek word coincides with the Hebrew word of akkad, or being one. Go back to what we read last night. What did he say that we had to have children? You're entirely too loud. You're too loud. Silence yourself. Remember that what we read last night, he said that we're going to have what? One heart. Then we read what Paul was talking about having one mind. We read in another place in the letter where he sit back and tell you that you'll have one spirit and the unity of the ruach. So individuals, the reason why they have to agree, because without two witnesses, the matter is not established. So if two people don't agree, then Yahuwah's not going to move. Now he can move for one person, don't get it twisted, but it's always better if there's a multitude. It's a brother, you know that dude to be rapping the eyeball dude. He's been talking about getting all the brews on one accord for the calendar. But his main point was Imagine if you had every person who said they was in the faith worldwide fasting and praying on atonement at the same time, on the same day, in the same hours. What would happen? Well, this is what thing it is. What would happen would be contingent on what you're praying for. Because if you got 700,000 people praying for this and 650,000 people over here praying for that, that doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to do that. Then, of course, the greatest caveat of them all, it has to be according to Yahuwah's will. Because you can ask this man for whatever you want, but if it's not according to his will, he's not going to do it. Because, see, I know most brothers would pray for what? Free us from captivity, and he ain't going to do it. You know what I'm saying? And he's not going to do it because he don't want to do it. It's because other things have to be accomplished before he does it. That's why he tells you in another place that you'll call on him, and before the words even finish coming out of your mouth, he will answer.
Well, can Naomi be one?
They did agree in one on the matter, and he did bring that to pass because she wanted a husband. Naomi said, "I ain't got one for you," but they agreed on the matter of how for her. What's his name is? Dang, what his name is? Boaz. On how she would get Boaz. They agreed on that. What Naomi told Ruth to do, she did it, and it was done. Because they were one. You gotta remember, God is just simply being of one mind, one heart, and one spirit. That means that's agreeing together on a matter. If you don't agree together on the matter, then you have what is detailed in 1 Corinthians 12 is having a schism in the body. That means there's a separation because you're not in agreement. 2 Kings chapter 2 and verse 1. And it came to pass when Yahuwah would take up Elijah and the Shamahim by a whirlwind, that Elijah went with Elisha from Gilgal. Elijah said unto Elisha, "Tarry here, I pray you, for you have sent me to Bethel." And Elisha said unto him, "As Yahuwah live and as your soul live, I will not leave you." So they went down to Bethel. The sons of the prophets that were at Bethel came forth to Elisha and said unto him, "Know you that Yahuwah will take away your master from your head today?" And he said, "Yea, I know it. Hold your shalom." Elijah said unto him, "Elisha, tarry you here, I pray you, for Yahuwah sent me to Jericho. And as he said, as Yahuwah live and as your soul live, I will not leave you." So they came to Jericho. The sons of the prophets that were at Jericho came to Elisha and said unto him, "Know you that Yahuwah will take away your master from your head today?" And he answered and said, "I know it. Hold your shalom." Elijah said unto him, "Tarry you here, I pray you, for Yahuwah has sent me to Jordan." And he said, "As Yahuwah live and as your soul live, I will not leave you." And the two went on. 50 men of the sons of the be quiet, boy. 50 men of the sons of the prophets went and stood to view afar off, and they stood by Jordan. That's offending him. That's what it is. He's offended by how he's sitting in that car seat. Eugene, that offends you? Does he offend you?
My daddy,
I don't understand anything you just said.
I want to drive my daddy's van. I want to drive his van.
Oh, you want to drive his van?
I want to drive his van. I want to drive me his house. We will drive it. We will drive it there.
You want to drive a van to your house, cuz. 50 men of the sons of the prophets went and stood to view there far off, and they stood by Jordan. Elijah took his mantle and wrapped it together and smote the waters, and they were divided hither and thither. So the two went over on dry ground. And it came to pass when they were gone over that Elijah said unto Elisha, "Ask what I shall do for you before I be taken away from you." Elisha said, "I pray you, let a double portion of your ruach be upon me." And he said, "You have asked a hard thing. If you see me taken from you, it shall be so unto you, but if not, it shall not be so." Now, Elisha makes the request. Elijah agrees with the request, but of course there is some parameters that go along with it. Y'all know what this refers to, right? Michael, you know what this refers to? Oh, you don't? That's unfortunate. What about you, Michael Glover? You know what this refers to? What's up, cuz? What's up, cuz?
Talking about as far as him acting for the spirit.
And the caveat, the parameters, the rules.
Yeah, I mean, for him to get it, he got to be a nurse. No, that's one of the rules.
No, that's not what's going on here, sir. That's not what's going on here. What about you, Lil Johnny? You know what this refers to?
Just as far as like your previous point, is lining up with the will of the Father. To be one.
You know what this referred to? You're looking like you want to answer. Why you got your lips pursed? You turn Caucasian? You know what this referred to? Any of you know what this referred to? This easy. You've been told this 17 times. Times 3. Add 6. Yeah, this is Acts 1. This is Acts 1. We didn't have to go through, I didn't think we would have to go through a whole bunch of detail. This is Acts 1. Did they not see him taken up? Did they not receive a portion? That's all. Did we not just read that he ascended above the clouds last night? That's the only reason why I asked. Yeah, that's the only reason why I asked. He took a little captivity captive for you, gave a little gifts unto men. I would wait till a double portion of Elijah's spirit is a good gift.
It's double.
And since we talking about Elijah, shoot, come on around here to Malachi chapter 4 then. What you want, cuz, and why you want it? What you want?
Nothing.
Then what you standing up here for?
Nothing. What?
Well, then nut your butt down then. Malachi 4 and 4. No, because this table is not secure. And you're going to look and you're going to do something and you're going to unsecure it. Hey, put your legs down, boy. Put your legs down, boy. You want somebody to enter your rectum? Malachi 4 and 4. Remember you the law of Moses, my servant, which I commanded unto him in Horeb for all Yasharal, with the statutes and judgments. Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of Yahuwah. He shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children and the heart of the children to the fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. So when you look at what Elisha did during his ministry, do y'all recall any of the things that he performed during his time? On top of that, do you know what Elijah performed during his time? He resurrected the lady's child. He prayed for it not to rain.
He did the sacrifice of the prophets of Baal.
He killed the prophets of Baal. Told the people how long you gonna halt between two opinions. But the main key thing of what Elijah did is that he called for repentance. Now, do you know the things that Elisha did? And the people didn't like him because he called for repentance. I don't know if y'all too familiar with Elisha. Hey, cuz, why you just can't sit down?
You keep trying to touch stuff on the table. Go ahead, sit down.
Hey, come here. Come here. Come on. Come on over here and come get your son. Park yourself right on over there. Right over there. Turn. Cut that crap out.
Hey, be quiet.
Oh, you still gonna cry? Come here. No. Now you. Hey, cut it out. You're not even crying for real. And you didn't get hit that hard. You want to go outside by yourself? And be quiet. Learn to follow directions. You wouldn't have to suffer such things. Go sit down.
Stop being extra. You set yourself up being extra. You be quiet. Nobody care what you want.
You can either go sit outside or you can go sit in the garage.
Let
I open the side though for them. Because that's your only option. Outside or the garage. Which one would you like? Or would you like to sit where you're at? Then conduct yourself properly. You know how to conduct yourself, don't you? Then do so.
Alicia had the one when the boy had to sneeze 7 times.
That was a lie. No, Alicia was one who he also preached repentance, but he also executed wrath. Do y'all?
Alicia was with the boy.
Yeah, Alicia is the one who had the children eaten by the she-bear. Oh, y'all not familiar with the she-bear? Come on and take a look at the she-bear. Mm-hmm. Come on and take a look at the she-bear. Slid back and grabbed that. I ain't said anything yet, son.
What did y'all?
I ain't said nothing yet. Come over here to 2 Kings chapter 2, verse 19. Shoot, you can go sit in the garage too, cuz. Second Kings chapter 2, verse 19. And the men of the city said unto Elisha, behold, I pray you, the situation of this city is pleasant, as my Lord see, but the water is not, and the ground barren. Hey. All y'all starting to really start a nerve to where I'm going to start thrashing you. Because y'all think that y'all can come in here and cry like somebody give a damn. You're rude and you're disrespectful. Hey, get your feet off the furniture. So if you don't want to behave, then you're going to go outside. And you're not going to go outside and play. You're going to sit outside and you're going to sit in the sun. That's what you're going to do. You're going to go outside and you're going to sit in the sun and you're just going to look. And if the sun don't suffice you, then you're going to go sit in the garage with the garage door down. And hopefully you'll sweat off about 5 to 10 pounds and you can look like a Somalian refugee. You go out there? He said, the men of the city said unto Elisha, behold, I pray you, the situation of this city is pleasant, as my Lord see, but the water is not, and the ground is barren. Uh-oh. Y'all gonna have to pause and take a look at that and tell me what you think. See, it's your son. Look at it and tell me what you got. I'll tell you what it means. Now, when you got pleasant, simply told. So the city is good. He said, but they ain't got no water. When it's got water, is not. The water is evil. You got raw there, and the ground is barren. You got Sakol, bereaved, is childless, done had a miscarriage. Shown barrenness, abortion. So I want you to think about that, right? He said the water is evil, disagreeable, unpleasant, sad, unhappy, bad. But he said the city is good, but the water is evil and the ground ain't giving forth no children. Oh, he boo-booed on you?
Peeing all over me right now.
Hey, little pissy. Nah, don't go that far. That nigga say, look.
No, it's covered. It's coming out the side.
Now you gonna smell like urine all day.
I live around the corner.
Well, yeah, I live around the corner. Don't matter. You're gonna be pissy till you get there.
Yeah,
Woo! Y'all ain't got nothing for me about that water's evil and that ground ain't got no churn. Yeah, don't let the baby peeing on his mama derail you from the point of hand. That's what, remember that, look who talking. They said the minute the city said to Elisha, hey man, the city good, water evil though, ground ain't bringing forth no children. Look what he told him. He said, bring me a new cruse and put salt therein, and they brought it to the next verse. Maybe that'll help you out a little bit. Sometimes I think I be one of y'all just don't read ahead. Sometimes you read ahead. You read ahead in school. You looking like you read ahead. You ain't give us no homework, Mr. Johnson. Remember, that's a jar or a bowl. Let me read verse 21. Maybe that'll help you out. And he went forth unto the spring of the waters and cast the salt in there. Thus saith Yahuwah, I've healed these waters. There shall not be from thence any more death or barren. Not land, just barren. Maybe not.
Well, the water's the people. You say you the salt. The salt of the
Barren again is bereaved, childless. Now this ain't the people here, right? It say the city. It say the water in the city ain't no good. Remember what it said? We said the minute the city came to Elisha, I pray you, the situation of this city is good. He say, but the water bad and the ground ain't bringing forth no churn. Oh no, you ain't got that one. No. Not in the context of everything else that's going on. Now I'm gonna sit back and tell you now for situation. Situation is Moshab. You know what that is? Y'all know what Moshab is? I just told you this the other day. Look at him. See, he cheating. See, he got sent.
Trying to see what grammar. I've been in the wrong word.
Oh, you say I thought he was cheating. He got sent. I used to cheat in school all the time. I ain't had time to cheat. It's dwelling place, seat, assembly, location. The dwelling place of the city is good. Well, what is the city? This is the beginning of Elisha's ministry, by the way. This is the beginning of his service. This is after he done got the double portion of the ruach, and now he has began to do what it is that he do. But that boy is not pleased with you. What y'all think? Look at the next part of it, right? He said he went forth unto the springs of the water. So now you got to pause. Let's talk about springs of the waters. Let's do this. Yahushua, son of Nun, chapter 15. Yahushua, son of Nun, chapter 15, verse 13. I can understand why you would say that, sir. I would not be in any disagreement. He said unto Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, he gave a part among the sons of Yehudah, according to the commandment of Yahuwah to Yahushua, even the city of Arba, the father of Anak, which city is Hebron. Caleb drove from thence the three sons of Anak, Shishi, Ahiman, Talamai, and the sons of Anak. He went up thence to the inhabitants of Debir, and the name of Debir before that was Kirjisper. Caleb said, he that smite Kirjisper and take it, him will I give Akash, my daughter, to wife. Oninthiel, the son of Kenaz, the brother of Caleb, took it and gave him Akash, his daughter, to wife. It came to pass, as she came unto him, that he moved him to ask of her father a field, and she lighted off her ass. And Caleb said unto her, what would you? Who answered, give me a blessing, for you've given me a south land. Give me also springs of water. And he gave her the upper springs and the nether springs. This is the inheritance of the tribes of the sons of Yehuda according to their families. Now we're talking about, now I just want to know, Elisha was not in Jerusalem. Where was Elisha at?
He was in Samaria.
He was in Samaria. He was in the upper part. But nevertheless, there's an upper spring and another spring, because he said these waters are evil. They're not good. Let's look at nether and upper just real quick, like Ann Springs, while we're over here.
The depth, low.
They have Gullah for bowl, spring, basin, Gamal, Lamad, and Hay. You can go ahead and tell me what you got for Gamal, Lamad, and Hay. Hey, be quiet. Hey. Ain't none of that. Walk and be easy. Gamal, Lamad, and Hay. This is for spring. Gula. This behold the teachings of the prophet, of the messenger. This is what the spring is going to be able to do. So Sean put there was no ruach in that place, meaning to no fruit to be able to be brought forth, but it said that the waters were evil, so that means these were waters that nobody could drink. The springs of the waters could not allow the people to drink them. Look at what it said. He healed the waters that there wouldn't be any more death. Now pause. Why is that important? Revelation 8, I believe. Hey, cuz sit still and stop moving around. What you got to move around for?
Sit over there. Put your back against the wall.
Cut it out.
But somebody got to get some milk. Be quiet. You do as you're told. You got to do all that one. Look.
Revelation chapter 8, verse 8. Revelation 8 and 8. The second Malachim sounded as it were a great mountain, burning with fire, cast into the sea, and the third part of the sea became blood. And the third part of the creatures which were in the sea had died, and the third part of the ships were destroyed. The third Malachim sounded, and there fell a great star from Shamahin, burning as it were a lamp, and it fell upon the third part of the rivers and upon the fountain of waters. And the name of the star is called Wormwood. And the third part of the waters became wormwood, and many men died of the waters because they were made bitter. Now, you're looking at this in a literal aspect in both instances of water that would bring forth death because men could not drink of it. Now, let's take a look at this. Isaiah 55 and 1. Fix your face before I fix it for you. Tuck your lip in. Take that hood off your head. You got a problem? Isaiah 55 and 1. Ho, everyone that thirsts, come ye to the waters. He that have no money, come you and buy and eat. Come buy wine and milk without money and without price. Wherefore do you spend money for that which is not bread, and your labor for that which satisfied not? Hearken diligently unto me, eat you that which is good, and let your soul delight itself in its fatness. Now look what it said, right? Come you to the waters and drink. Let's take a look at this. Zechariah 14. Zechariah 14 and 9. Matter of fact, Zechariah 14 and 7. But it shall be one, ain't nothing over there for you. But it shall be one day which shall be known to Yahuwah, not day nor night, but it shall come to pass that at the evening time it shall be light. And in that day living water shall go out from Jerusalem, half of them towards the former sea, half of them towards the hinder sea. In summer and winter it shall be. What did we just see with that? It say up to the former and the latter, to the nether and the upper springs, because we're in the land of Yehuda, if you would. You got upper here. Of course, it's elite, upper. Nether is a word we didn't look at before. Let's make sure it's the same one. I'm a man. What you talking about? Ain't nobody got nothing for you, boy. And tak T for lower or lowest. Now, as you ponder upon that, Revelation 22. From Revelation 22 to Luke 14. Oh, you trying to repeat. You a repeater? 22 and 16. Revelation 22 and 16. I, Yahushua, have sent my Malachim to testify unto you these things. In the houses I am the root and offspring of David, the bright and morning star. And the ruach and the bride said, come. Let him that hears say, come. And let him that is athirst come. And whosoever will, let him take the water of life freely. Which is what we just read in Ezekiel 14. You can read in Ezekiel 47 as well, about water that emanates from the throne and begins to get to foot, ankle level, to knee level, so on and so forth. But the problem was, it said here that these waters were evil, or they were bad, and that they needed to be healed. So come over here to Luke 14. 14 and 26, but I don't think I'm gonna start at 26. Now, the first thing he said, he went forth to the spring of the waters, and he said he put what in there? Well, first thing he said bring him a new cruse. You know what a cruse is, right? I think I mentioned what it was. You don't know what that is? Who in here knows what a cruse is? That nigga said came out here with the old man flagging. But yes, it is a barrel. Son, you drink out of. I give you the word for it all the way around the world. It is a Keith. It is a jar. It is a bowl. It is a salt cellar. It is a cruse. Something prolonged or tall. Basically something that you put beverages in. And what did we read in Luke 5 last night? That you got to put new wine and new bottles. So he asked him to bring him a new cruse specifically. Let's get new on there for it, man. And of course, you know, new here is, what word would you think new would be, Felicia? What word do you think it would be? That got mentioned yesterday, last night, and Wednesday. Oh no, you gotta look it up. We gotta move on to somebody else. Lil Johnny, what word you think new would be? It's easy. Y'all know what a new moon is, don't you? That's what the word is there for new right there. When he say bring him a new cruse. Bring him a Kadash jar. A new one. A fresh one. What did we read in 2 Corinthians 5? That anybody who is in Mashiach is a new creature. So you would need a new cruse to put these waters in, because the waters were evil. So you got to put a little salt in there. Come over here to Luke 14. (14 and 25) is sufficient, I suppose. And there were great multitudes with him, and he turned and said unto them, if any man come to me and hate not his father, mother, wife, children, brethren, sisters, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. Whosoever do not bear his stake and come after me cannot be my disciple. Which of you sitting down, which of you, hey boy, you're not paying attention to what you're doing. And that can have detrimental, devastating consequences for you. For which of you intending to build a tower, sit not down first and count the cost, whether they have sufficient to finish it, lest happily, after he laid the foundation and is not able to finish it, all that behold it begin to mock him, saying, this man began to build and was not able to finish. What king going to make war against another king, sit not down first and consult whether he able with 10,000 to meet him that come against him with 20,000? Or else, while the other is yet a great way off, he send the ambassadors desiring conditions of peace. So likewise, whether he be of you that forsake not all that he have, he cannot be my disciple. Salt is good, but if the salt has lost his savor, wherewith shall it be seasoned? Neither is it fit for the land, nor yet for the dunghill, but men cast it out. Him that have ears to hear, let him hear. Why is salt used here? Why is the salt important? You got to have some book for that. You can't answer that with no books, huh? I thought you were sharper than that. Or is this your barber sharp?
What?
Y'all ain't got no book for me for that. Why is the salt important? Why would he even mention salt? That means y'all being reckless. Lackadaisical, if you will.
The salt was required in sacrifice.
The salt was required for the sacrifice. Look at John. I knew that. I knew that. See, that go back to what I told you the other day. You don't just open up Leviticus and say, let me read here about this ovulation. You tell me, I want to read the good stuff. Yeah, Leviticus 2 and 11.
All good.
It's all good, huh? They say that anyway, it's not provocative. It don't get the people going. Leviticus 2 and 11. No meat offering, which you shall bring unto Yahuwah, shall be made with leaven. You shall burn no leaven, nor any honey, and any offering of Yahuwah made by fire. He said, if you're gonna bring a meat offering, y'all know what that is. That's minkah. Your gift, your tribute, your offering, your oblation, your sacrifice. What we just read last night about a good old sacrifice when it said to come off and give a smell. It's pleasant. Sweet smell. Said no leaven, can't be no sin with it. He said, as for the oblation of the first fruits, you shall offer them unto Yahuwah, but they shall not be burnt on the altar for a sweet savor. Now come here. Now come here. No, come here. Come here. No. Stop running in his house.
Yeah, got that table.
Hush your mouth and get off the furniture. Sit down properly. Hush your mouth before you get another one. I meant what I said, children. You're getting hit on sight for running in this house. You only got one warning. After that, all bets is off. Ain't nothing but consequences. There will be no grace in this house for running. Strictly recompense. Verse 13, every oblation of your meat offering shall you season with salt. Neither shall you suffer the salt of the covenant of your Alahym to be lacking from your meat offering. With all your offerings shall you offer salt. Let me read that again. That's what he just said, right? He said if the salt lack is seasoned, what is it good for? But notice what he just dropped in there. He said the salt of your what? Of your covenant. You know the people that talk, they got a Facebook group. How about a nigga was in the group talking about where's it at in the Bible how you get married? I said, I got a trick for you smarty old niggas. I said, go read you Ezekiel 16 and get your Exodus chapter 12 through 24 and run it down. He talking about why you just can't post it here. I said, nigga, I just said it's Exodus 12 through 24. That's 12 chapters. Nigga, go read it. Figure it out. And if you don't understand, better find your guide. Straight up and down.
Another one, he established his covenant with David with a covenant.
Covenant of salt. He did tell David it's a covenant of salt. That was for Solomon to sit on the throne. Covenant of salt. And what the Lord just told you. That salt ain't got no saving. That thing ain't no good. We got to toss him out. That means that salt ain't sufficient enough to season this meat offering. You bring it to your hoop as a gift and an offering and a tribute. So you didn't realize Yahushua was a meat offering and a tribute to use to get your hands off of that, boy.
Turn around, put you back on the wall.
Because I'm waiting on it. I'm waiting on him to come with a crocodile tail, boy. I was going to catch him in his forehead. No meat offering which you shall bring shall be made with leaven, for you shall burn no leaven, nor any honey in the offering of Yahuwah made by fire. Pause. Come over here to 1 Corinthians 5. Five and 1. Now we about to read with these Gentiles on that weirdo stuff they was on now. It was on that weirdo stuff. Pay attention. Stop playing with the ground.
Hey, just make good choices, son. Nobody want to hear no water.
See, let me tell you something. See, I may not hit you hard, but I'm going to hit you every time, though. See, I don't get tired. I can render recompense and wrath over and over and over and over and over again and not get frustrated, not nary time. It don't make me no difference. It's hurting you. It ain't hurting me. But you're going to learn to sit upright and pay attention. Or you're going to learn that your forehead going to be throbbing and you're going to have headaches. And when you hear my voice, your head going to throb. Because you're going to sit up straight. You're going to open your ears, lift up your chin, focus, and pay attention. Now, you can either get... No, in fact, I'm just going to take the option off the table. If I catch you again, you're going to the garage. No chair. All feet, standing up. And I'm going to make sure that that door right there be open so I can see you. Now, your father has given you wise counsel and told you to make good choices. Now, everything rests within your lap. Choose wisely, my friend. Choose wisely. 1 Corinthians 5 and 1. It is reported commonly that there is fornication among you. Such fornication is not as much named among the Gentiles that one should have his father's wife. They said it's commonly reported these men were around here sleeping with their daddy's wife. What does that say about the women they daddy were married to?
Even still. Still excuse.
Nigga pulled a Reuben. Yes.
Possible.
Yes, it's highly possible. Or it could have been one of his concubines.
Right.
Either way it goes. Because Reuben slept with a concubine. You know what I'm saying? Reuben defiled his father's bed by sleeping with, it wasn't his mammy, but it was his father's wife. That's a violation.
Oh, your brother's mama. That's still a violation.
That's just nasty.
That's your brother's mama.
That's your brother's mama. No, they wasn't doing that at that time.
That was over.
I definitely wasn't doing that. He said, "You are puffed up and have not rather mourned that he have done this deed might be taken away from you. For I truly is absent in body, but present in ruach, have judged already as though I were present concerning him that have done this deed. In the name of our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach." Ooh, you caught a kidney shot, boy. In the name of our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, when you are gathered together in my ruach with the power of our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, to deliver such as one to the adversary for the destruction of the flesh, that the ruach might be saved in the day of the Lord Yahushua. Your esteeming is not good. Know you not that a little leaven leavened the whole lump? Purge out therefore the old leaven, that you might be a new lump, as you were unleavened, even as Mashiach our Passover is sacrificed for us. Therefore let us keep the feast, not with old leaven, neither with the leaven of malice and wickedness, but with the unleavened bread of sincerity and truth. Notice, right? It said unleavened. He said you could. He didn't say nothing about you couldn't offer no unleavened bread as a sacrifice to fire. He said leaven. You know what I'm talking about? All contingent to the point of the purging of the leaven out of your home for that 7-week period. But let's return back and look at another matter of what he stated in verse 12 of Leviticus chapter 2. He said, as for the oblation of the first fruits, you shall offer them unto Yahuwah, but they shall not be burnt on the altar for a sweet savor. Well, what is your oblation of first fruits? That would take you to the apostles on Pentecost. They weren't offered on the altar. That's a sacrificial present. Those men were presents to Yahuwah. He put that ruach on them, they presents, they first fruits. They wouldn't put on the altar, meaning they weren't burnt. They didn't go through what we're looking for. They didn't go through the furnace of affliction. And guess what? That's another statement also as well as him agreeing in one. Because I mean, the Gospels are scripture. All 11 of those men or 12 of those men were in agreement when this man had went through forth that text and said that the whole book was about him. And they were in agreement on them receiving that ruach when he told them he sent it to them. For them all to be one. Because how many bodies is it, boy? How many bodies? How many? How many? How many bodies you got? Huh? How many bodies does this bird have? So you got 3 bodies? Well, you only got 1. How many legs you got? How many arms you got? How many heads you got? How many chests you got? So how many bodies you got? So how many bodies the Lord got? There you go. Oh, you feeling left out? I'm sorry to hear that. I'll get you on the next one. How about that? Would you like that? Okay. Verse 13. He said, at every oblation of your meat offering shall you season with salt. Let's look at season. Now this is malak. That is to be salt, but to be rubbed or to wash with salt, to be dispersed, to be dissipated, or to tear away. Mim, lamad, and kai. Proceed. So you're looking at seasoning, you're rubbing or washing the sacrifice. Then we just read with the washing the water by the word, that you might be without spot, wrinkle, or blemish. So the seasoning aspect of the seasoning and the sacrifice with the salt is to tear away or dissipate. If you paid attention in Luke 14, what did he enumerate in that? A tearing away or dissipating.
I said that water gonna wash
Water gonna separate you to the shepherd. Go ahead and get washed. Wash you, make you clean. Cease from doing evil before my eyes. Come on, Joe. Just come on. Just come on. Just come on, Joe. Come on. You're having a long day. What's your problem? What's your problem? So I know what your problem is. See, you got a head of stone. Because you're hard-headed. Why you hard-headed, Joe? See, Bird hard-headed too. See, look at him looking sad. Lift your head up, boy. You tired? Go sleep on the back porch then. Then you ain't that tired. I don't think you're tired. I think you're frustrated that you can't operate in the fashion that you desire to operate in. Would that be accurate for you? Oh. Let's look at salt. Get your hand off my book. Malak also. Mean, Lamad, and Kai. No need to go any further. It's got to say, get your hand off my book, get your feet off my feet. Your feet are cold. So you got Malak and Malak. See, now you got to go. Because you couldn't just sit here and get comfort. You had to put your hand on stuff.
It said one 44:14 and the other one 44:17. Oh, that's the root word. There you go. Just a little extra water.
Just a little extra water. It's all the same. It's all the same. Now we look at the salt of your covenant, which is the same thing. Let's look at David's salt of covenant of salt. Second Chronicle 13. You can pick it up at verse 1. Joe, we finna put you outside, Joe. We finna put you outside, Joe. Cause you don't want to do all of that, Joe. I know what Joe is. Joe upset. Y'all ain't get him no ice creams, no sherbets. That what it is, Joe? See? Not real ice cream, boy. Joe said he wanted to join in. Eugene think it's a real ice cream. Ain't no ice cream in here, cuz. This ain't Baskin Robbins. Now in the 18th year, 2 Kings 13, Chronicles 13:1. 2 Chronicles 13:1, boy. Now in the 18th year, King Jeroboam began Abijah to reign over Yehudah. He reigned 3 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Micaiah, the daughter of Uriel and Gabiah. There was war between Abijah and Jeroboam. Abijah set the battle in array with an army of valiant men of war, even 400,000 chosen men. Jeroboam also set in battle array against him with 800,000 chosen men, being mighty men in valor. Abijah stood up upon Mount Zeran, which is in Mount Ephraim, and said, "Hear me, O Jeroboam and all Yasharal, ought you to know that the Yahuwah Alahym of Yasharal gave the kingdom of Yasharal to David forever, even him and to his sons by a covenant of salt." You got a covenant of salt here. Why is a covenant of salt important? Because it has its what? It has its savor. Let's look at that Luke 14 one more time with it, if you would. Remember, what is the salt for? For the washing or the tearing apart or the separation. That means the house of David was separated to be the tribe that will rule over the house of Yasharal. That is the point. (14 and 34), Luke. He says salt is good, but if the salt has lost its savor, wherewith shall it be seasoned? It is neither fit for the land, which we're seeing in 2 Kings 2, because the water was evil, therefore it wasn't fit for the land, so the land is barren, nor yet for the dunghill, but men cast it out. He that have ears to hear, let him hear. And what they were doing with that water, they were casting it out. It's too evil, can't drink it. So what does that equate to? Colossians chapter 2. Take a roll with me.
Hey, what you supposed to be doing? Go ahead, sit down. Everybody.
2:18. Colossians 2:18. I'm thinking about a dude in the peak group snap. That nigga say, "What you mean?" That nigga say one of Jesus' greatest miracles was done at a wedding. Because they were stuck on the wedding ring. I think the reason why that's an issue, as we already know, everybody in here already know, is the amalgamation of different cultures, and you thinking that stuff that people do in the name of the word is things that the word support. People think that a marriage ring is something that is in the word. Like I seen somebody say this here, oh, the Bible support rape. When you know, if you actually read it, it does not. There's a lot of things that people think are in the text that are not. That's why I told you, you got to be prepared. You can't try to get prepared. You already got to be prepared because people already have preconceived notions of what they think the word actually says, and it doesn't say. Oh man, a lot of people, because when they read that Deuteronomy 22, it's if a man lay with a woman, he got to marry. Then it's got some, but it also say, but they say if he didn't take it by force. See, then when they say if he laid with a woman who was not betrothed, meaning she had no husband, but that woman did not scream for someone to hear her. He says one thing, if she screamed and ain't nobody here, he says she good. You know what I'm talking about? I'm gonna kill this nigga. She straight. But he was like, if that nigga laid with her and you just like, oh yeah, you feeling loving in your oven? Then they say, yeah, I'm gonna kill both of y'all. Because you didn't get raped, you was with it. You know what I'm saying? Because who are looking at it on that anybody, if somebody was raping you, you're going to cause a fuss and a stir. I don't want this to happen to me. I'm not agreeing to this. Your example for that is when David's daughter was raped, she protested against the act. She was like, I'm not with this. What are you doing? Don't commit such evil. Now, of course, you know this nigga overpowered me. I can't stop him. But she had made her protest be known. Because the text said, what does the law say? The rapist is the same as what? A murderer. That's what he said a rapist is akin to. So if somebody who raped somebody in Yasharal is to be put to death, as a murderer is put to death, that is equal to shedding innocent blood. But dudes don't know that. You know what I'm saying? You got brews who don't know this. So you know full well people who don't keep the word don't know it. If you was I tell you, man, find you 10 brews and ask him, man, how does who of you rape? How does he view a rapist? The niggas ain't gonna have no answer. They can't sit back and tell you, oh, right here, brother, bop, 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 boom. If you say you know the word and somebody asks you that, you're supposed to already be prepared enough to be able to, oh yeah, Deuteronomy 22 and 22 tell you this. Even the bare minimum, if you ain't have to recite the passage, you can eat the location, you can tell them, oh, that matter is the same as a murderer. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, yes, brother. A man who is a rapist is akin to a murderer in the eyesight of our God. That man ought to be put to death. I never knew that, brother. Yeah, man, what you thought this was? A rape-a-thon? Pull out your meat and take what you want? Oh, y'all trying to put a new definition on meat offering. That's not what happens here.
No.
Shoot. Put a little salt on it, it'll be all right.
Well, you're right, boy.
Shoot, that's what they claim going on out here.
Soft food.
Yeah, because you know them brews be quick to tell you that. They tell you all the Hebrew men beating on their wives, abusing their
In the
children.
barbershop, they just go heavy on the slavery thing. The Bible condones slavery.
And what's your point? So what? And that when I would look at them, so what?
That's not a new thing in the earth.
The Bible teaches you to be a slave. That's what it is.
And then when somebody say the Bible teaches you to be a slave, then my counterpoint would be where? See, because they ain't ready for that. See, that's nigga talking points. That's a bunch of niggas sitting around talking. Because if you see, the best way to destroy an idiot is to ask him to prove his point. The Bible teaches you to be a slave. How so? Point out specifically 2 to 3 witnesses where he's teaching you to be a slave. See, say slaves obey your masters, but that's not what it says, son. That's what they translated to. That's your fault for not being an educated man. I already know I do. That's the only place you can. That's when you go to them and you show them in Greek. It says this. So basically, you niggas go to your job every day and you do exactly what that man say. So I guess you a slave and he a master, huh? Slave boy. That's what you say. You're going all to the plantation, but you signed a contract and agreed to go there. What type of nigga would go on his job and disrespect his supervisor? And you chose to be there, asking this person to help you pay your bills. Because without him, you can't eat. Because we have to start in there to know, look at, boy, everybody can't be no hustler, boy. If it's everybody a hustler, who's going to be an employee? So somebody going to work for somebody. That just is what it is. The problem is that you as an employee, if you got skills, you don't negotiate a better pay rate commensurate with your skills. And if you ain't got no skills, well, you ain't got no leverage. You know what I'm talking about? And you know where that come into? Y'all know the parable. Where that come into at? Y'all know the parable I'm talking about? No, I let you get right. Oh, I did with mentioning that. That's not the exact spot.
What did you say? The parable?
Yeah, the parable. I'm talking about your pay, your wages.
About he gave every man a penny.
Gave everybody a penny.
What did he say? You're an Austrian.
Yeah, 22 and 22 is if a man be found laid with a woman who got a husband, both of them die. But the part of laying with a man, a woman who ain't who's not betrothed, extends all the way down. And verse 26 is the part that it says that a man who lays with a woman and takes it, he's worthy of death. But yes, that man said they all agreed to a penny. And the people who came later, who started earlier, was complaining about why I got a penny. And what the Lord told him, you agreed to what I was going to pay you, didn't you? So as a man, you can't complain about what somebody paying you if you agreed to what they were going to pay you. It ain't like a nigga told you, just come out here, I'll pay you. Then you get out there and you feel like you did $100 worth of work and he give you 40. And you have a legitimate right. But if you sat down with this person and this person told you, I'm going to pay you $150 a day, you can't turn around and say, I want $250. That's not what you negotiated. That's not how that works. Now, you can go back and renegotiate, but if that man ain't got to give you $250 if you agreed to one, it's the only country I see where niggas complain about wages that they agreed to. If you ain't like what they were paying, why you took the job? Reason why I say that, because you can easily do what they did and put up your own money and put up the risk and take the chance of losing everything you got. You can easily do the same thing that they did. You could take that same risk. But most people don't want to take that same risk because of security of knowing you're going to pay me. Because it's a risk. You could lose. I seen a dude in the junk group I'm in. He was like, man, there's so many junk removal companies. And somebody was like, 90% of them going to fail anyway. And I'm like, shoot, 90% of businesses fail, period. You know, but that's not the hard. That's the hard truth. Don't nobody tell you. And it take about a good about 5 to 7 years to become profitable, which ain't nobody going to tell you that either. See, everybody has an illusion of stupidity. You open the business, you got money. Anybody who tell you that, that's somebody that you know has never ran a business or been around anybody who has run one. Because you got overhead. That's the part that people don't understand. Yeah, I'm paying you this, but I got to pay for this, and this for you to be able to get paid to do what you're doing. We just had a conversation the other day. These dudes be around here talking about they can get somebody to do what we do for cheaper. I'm like, yeah, nigga, they ain't got no insurance. So you have an uninsured nigga doing your job. I got to pay for workers' comp, general liability, and commercial liability. What this nigga paying for? Nothing. So yeah, that nigga can come around here and say, what I told you I do for $700, I do it for $250, and he sure as hell can do it because I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? I got to pay these men. I got to pay for the gas. I got to pay for the insurance. Nah, bro, I'm not doing that for that. Straight up and down. Man wanted us to demo a garage. I say, well, man, it should be $7,000 to demo this garage. But since you providing the dumpster and the heavy equipment to do it, we'll do it for 4 stacks. I'm really trying to keep it under 5. Well, shoot, you better find somebody else to do it. Because I can't come around here and do this for $2,000. I'm working for free. But you know what most people look at? But it's $2,000. But you ain't looking at all the expenses that have to be paid for to get that job accomplished. So by the time it get accomplished, them $2,000 is really $600. So I need that $4,000. Because see, that $4,000 attorney. Because see, guess what? Somebody using some heavy equipment, that's a skilled laborer. That means you can't pay him like a nigga at the labor pool. You can't shoot him $10 an hour. You can't see one thing. See, that's what your cousin did. You think putting some trash in a bag, you supposed to get $20 an hour? You putting trash in a bag. I can get anybody to do that. You can get the churn to do that. But putting a nigga in a backhoe and he know how to operate that to knock down the structure and take it and grab it and scoop it and drop it in the dumpster. Well, that's a skill. That's a skilled labor. Everybody can't jump in no doggone backhoe. Everybody can't do that. So you're going to have to pay Cud $20, $25 an hour for his time. And really, it's only going to take 2 hours, so you can't give him $50. So you got to get this man $400, $500 for his time. See, that's what people don't equate that. That's a skill. That's a skilled laborer. How many people you know how to use heavy equipment that can just jump in some heavy piece of equipment, cut it on, and use it? We just had the same thing. Dude want us to demo a concrete block garage. I say, man, we do it for $3,500, man. I show you some love because it's $4 to $8 a square foot. I'll charge you $5. You know what I'm talking about? And I got to get the dumpster, and I got to get the equipment. So I put a stack on top of that. $3,500. You don't even hear back from niggas, man. What you thought we were gonna demo this junk for a couple $100 for a stack, man? Shoot, nigga, the dumpster $450. The dumpster $450. You understand? That's $450 gone off top, and I got to pay for that up front. Then I got to wait for you to pay me. You can juggle balls in your mouth. You know what I'm talking about? But see, the people. Then that's the other aspect of it, because you used to getting paid on a set day. We got to wait for these people to cut your bread. Some cut quick, some don't. Guess what? The expenses don't stop. You know what I'm talking about? That's what people don't take that into account. So you got to negotiate what you can. You can't sit back and think that you are equal or deserving. See, that's an entitled mentality when you think you're entitled to somebody's profits when you put up no risk. Because put it to you this way. Yahuwah is the only person who conducts business different than that, because he put up all the risk in order for you to get the benefit of the wealth, because he said that he made himself poor that you might be made rich, but he took all the risk. You didn't take no risk. Oh yeah, I mean, that's because people always want somebody to do something for cheap. Kira, most people don't want to pay. Now you got some people, they don't care. Your price is your price, and I always been like that. Your price is your price. I'm either gonna pay for it or I'm not. I'm not gonna get mad with nobody about their price.
What I don't like is people who say, just get it done, and then you hit them with the bill, they be like, I ain't think it was gonna be this one.
Now I'm gonna tell you where that come in at. When they hit you with, I didn't think it was gonna be this much. They had in their mind what they thought you was worth, or what they thought the job was worth. Because we had, like I said, man, when we was in Middleburg, that lady was like 3,000. I'm like, 3,000? Baby, this is about $8,000 worth of work. I don't give a damn if you coming up the dumpsters or not. You want 3 sheds demoed and all this trash. Baby, that's $8,000 worth of work. You tell me, I'm just trying to keep it under 3,000. How is that possible? But look at the Lord. You bought 10 dumpsters. So you still paid that and then some. You dummy.
But that's what I'm saying. You need to say that up front. This is my budget. Don't do that.
No, they don't do that.
Say this is my budget. Don't say just get it done and then I send the bill and you be like you said, I didn't think it's gonna be this one.
My man's did that. He said, we trying to keep it under 2,000. And I charged him 2,000.
You feel me? If you come like that, I might go with you.
You know what I'm saying? I charged him the max. Did I have to charge him 2,000? No. But I did, though.
No. Keep it a buzz. Help everybody out.
Help everybody out. What your budget is. Let me see if I can work inside of that.
All right.
Cause boy, you gonna pay me, boy. I need all mine. I like to compensate my men well. Got to. That's why they'll keep on coming. See, that's the other part of the game that people don't realize. If people don't compensate you well, you can't keep talent. You're gonna keep recycling. Cause people gonna keep quitting. Yeah, nobody like this here. I can't work for this. See, there's a difference of I got to pay you this because this is what the profit margin is, and somebody who's making a whole bunch of money and just say screw you, nigga. But they also view it as a market setting. I can't pay a nigga flipping burgers $25 an hour when the person around the corner is only paying them $12. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They gonna go along with what the market is paying. But the point of the matter is, shoot. Get your skills up, and you ain't got to worry about it. Or as I was taught as a young man, don't sit around begging somebody for a job and then be upset when they don't pay you what you want or they don't hire you. Because you could have went and did that for yourself. What was that, Luke 14? I'm done with Luke 14. Oh, yeah, I was in Colossians. I had slipped over. That's what it was. I turned the page for Brother Harris. He was asking about Deuteronomy 22 and 20.
It's rooted and built it up to him. Established in the faith.
2 and 18, Colossians. Let no man beguile you of your reward and a voluntary humility and worshiping of Malachim, intruding into those things which ye have not seen, vainly puffed up by his fleshly mind. And not the holding the head, from which all the body by joints, bands having nourishment ministered and knit together increase with the increase of Alahym. Wherefore, if you be dead with Mashiach from the rudiments of the world, why, as though living in the world, you are subject to ordinances? Touch not, taste not, handle not, which are all to perish with the using, and the commandments and doctrines of men. Also, y'all know in verse 8, he said, don't let nobody spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, but through tradition of men. That's what made the water bad. We kind of talked about that in that Matthew 15 when they were coming with their traditions. That's what makes the water bad. That's what he got to put salt in it or to clean it up. Let's return back to 2 Kings. I already read it. Ain't much on that. He just said, didn't he make a covenant of salt with David?
Right.
And you're looking at a covenant of salt. This is a covenant that tears away or dissipates, separates. That's what it do. So when you sit back and you see him say this here, dang, I wish I wouldn't have put this on here, man. They just kind of put that in. I had to get another phone. That LCD went out again. Oh, that's funny to you, Ruth? You ain't right. I'm like, man, this is the third time, man. I can't deal with this. Every time it be like this here, boy, I would get one of them phones up off my bill. That junk just stopped working.
That's why they make so many free ones, bro.
I ain't never had an Android. Apple didn't screw me over. It screw me over as I dropped my phone and that junk messed the LCD up. Then if you don't take it to Apple, they put non-Apple parts on there and it's liable to go out again.
That's a phone case. You need a phone case.
It was in the phone case. Now riddle me that.
You can't keep fumbling phones, bro.
Nigga, I got insurance. I just don't have the time.
That nigga say you a jaguar.
That's a business expense.
Yeah, it is. Guess what I do? Yeah, I write him off. It's just the inconvenience of having to go get another one. Nigga, my phone bill get rid off anyway. That junk under the business name. That junk different now. When you talking about that cost, see, that's a long process. I ain't got time for that. They take you through a lot on that, and it got to be a commercial vehicle. Yeah, you can't go and somebody buying a Benz for the company. That's what was on there. But nevertheless, I got Apple insurance, but you got to send the phone off. Oh no, they say that boy, you buy the wrong stuff. Boy, said IRS coming at your door. Yeah, you trying to buy your Lamborghini? Talking about this a business whip.
It's for marketing. Lambo though. Nigga definitely coming to get that.
Yeah, they coming to get you.
I'm gonna get it wrapped.
Why did son drive this car?
You got it on that though. Marco.
Everywhere I go, expand.
And they say we got an expansion for you. It's called the Federal Department of Corrections, Department of Justice. Now they're gonna hit you with a super fine. That's what they're gonna do. 2 Kings chapter 2 and 21. He said he went forth unto the springs of the waters and cast the salt in there. Thus saith Yahuwah, I have healed these waters. There shall not be thence any more death or unfruitfulness, if you will. So the waters were healed unto this day, according to the saying of Elisha, which he spake. And he went up thence unto Bethel, and as he was going up, by the way, there came forth little children out of the city, mocked him, and said unto him, Go up, you bald head. Go up, you bald head. And he turned back and looked on them and cursed them in the name of Yahuwah. And there came forth 2 she-bears out of the wood and tear 42 children of them. Better teach your children some respect. Can you imagine your children like this here, right? And that's what a lot of these women out here raising, little bastards like that there. That could be like, go up there, you bald head. And you going up to that upper room right now, you little naked children. Gone up to the upper room. See, that's a harsh one. Now, you know that verse right there offends a lot of people who don't believe. Why would he kill 42 kids? Why would the 42 kids not have proper respect? Blame it on your mammy and your pappy. Let's look at Martin and the bald head. And they say, I got a bald head. Now that's bald on the back of the head. It's ruach. Y'all know what the law say about a bald-headed man? Y'all know, do you even know the law talk about a bald-headed man? Oh, you looking confused. Michael, did you know the law talked about a bald-headed man? Who in here did know that the law talked about a bald-headed man? Y'all didn't know that? Well, come on over here to Leviticus, then look at you. Taking another trip to Leviticus. Leviticus 13, if you would. Leviticus 13, if you would. You can pick it up 13 and 38. 13 and 38. I'll try to see if I can smell the liquor. I only smell the peach. I ain't no drunk. Nigga, that's... Shoot, no. Manly sense. You'll learn. You still on your fresh stage. See, it's cognac in here. I'm gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. It's Kentucky bourbon in here. You know what I'm saying? There's red wine in there. You know what I'm saying? And I like tobacco. Masculine. Smell like a man.
Woody.
Woody. Yeah. I like amber resinous scents, tobacco, boozy fragrances, gourmands, if you will. I ain't say nothing about no weed. That's not what a gourmand is. That's something that smells like something you want to eat.
Like gourmet. Gourmet.
What that say? This Black Phantom. This is gourmand. Huh? Nigga, you got one, nigga. That Black Vilgar, nigga, that got rum in it. That's why I bought it. Liquor. Rum on top. It's rum on top. And what you said when you smelled it, it smelled like something man 35 years old or whatever. Man. Shoot. Boy, you better go ahead and spray him, bump all that. Shoot. Fragrances go bad. That ain't no cap. They do. Got to keep them in a nice, dark, cool place. Leviticus 13 and 38. What they doing to you, Ruth? If a man also or a woman have in the skin of their flesh bright spots, even white bright spots, then the priest shall look and behold, if the bright spots in the skin of their flesh be darkish white, is a freckled spot that grow in the skin, he is clean. The man whose hair is fallen off his head, he is bald, yet he is clean. He that have his hair fallen off from the part of his head towards his face, he is forehead bald, yet he is clean. If there be a that's a receding hairline.
He clean.
That's a George Jefferson. He clean. I just want you to know why the children mocked him for being bald, because they were mocking him by saying that he was a leper, which we're about to get to in a moment. He said, if there be in the bald head or a bald forehead a white reddish sore, it is leprosy sprung up in his bald head or his bald forehead. Then the priest shall look upon it, and behold, if the rising of the sore be white reddish in his bald head or in his bald forehead, as the leprosy appear in the skin of the flesh, he is a leprous man, he is unclean, and the priest shall pronounce him utterly unclean. His plague is in his head. And the leper whom the plague is, his clothes shall be rent, his head bare. He shall put a covering upon his upper lip and shall cry, unclean, unclean. Now we'll sit back and look at unclean, unclean. Now, when you got upper lip, it is sapham, and it is your lip piece or your beard or your mustache specifically. But that's why they mocked him. That's why he cursed him. Because to call somebody a bald head was to insinuate they had leprosy, which to insinuate they're unclean. Which in our land at that time, that's disrespect.
That's a man of God.
That's a man of God. And you talking about he a leper. He unclean. I got some unclean for you. Go up there, you bald head. Yes, ma'am. Or that's hand up there for the smack the churn. Let's return to Matthew 18, if you would.
Go ahead.
I told him to go.
That's nigga. See? Nigga. Play it. You unclean.
You are unclean. I don't know if y'all ever knew that thing. Y'all knew that about the leprosy and the bald head? Y'all ever seen somebody with sores in their head that were bald? Because I've never seen such a thing. I just thought that was their skin, liver spots.
They got like red spots. Yeah, I ain't know what spots in there, like red.
Harvey got that on the
Jamil,
he got that.
Yeah, that's why he cursed him for mocking him. A man with a man being bald and he had spots in his head, he would be considered a leper.
That boy ain't got no eyebrow.
And I don't know if y'all familiar with this, but to be a leper in the land of Yasharal was an ugly thing. It's an ugly thing. What did he say to Miriam, if you would?
Yeah, leper is when she put her hand in that bush.
No.
Yeah, be outside the camp.
He told her, your daddy should have spit in your face and you wouldn't be out of this camp 7 days. And he made her leprous. She
ain't stay like that.
Yeah, he put it. That was a punishment for a week. She was separated from everybody with leprosy for a week.
So if you a leprous in the land, you gotta be outside.
If you a leper, man, you got to go.
You unclean perpetually.
You unclean perpetually. Ain't nobody can't come. What I just said, boy, if this man got leprosy in his head, they got to take all his clothes off, make him put something on his mustache, and he got to walk around and say, I'm unclean, I'm unclean. Boy, that's shame. That's shame. You know, Bruce was big on clean. Now niggas don't care. Niggas don't wash their nuts, wash their coochie, wash their clothes. Oh, video logo? That's what they say Michael Jackson had, ain't it? I would say that would be leprosy, me personally. Yes, I think that's leprosy too. Yeah, they just won't call it that. Because that's what they say Sammy Sosa got. They like he bleached his skin. Man,
bleach.
But that boy had patches and swatches too.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, that boy had patches and swatches before he turned into a Neapolitan ice cream.
Michael had patches and he just did the whole bleach thing. But the nigga had leprosy though. Lupus is something else. Lupus is that junk that mess up your face like what Seal got. That's a blood disorder, I believe.
Oh, I thought lupus was a type of cancer.
Yeah, that's immune deficiency.
I thought lupus was a type of cancer.
That's right. Now you Rohan right about that. That's, you know, them rashes and blemishes, they will be washed. But the priest will look at that and be like, huh, y'all around here thinking this diaper rash, that nigga got leprosy. But all jokes aside, not being funny, right? But yeah, but lupus, he just said the same thing. That's what I thought. It's also a blood disease, also an immune deficiency disorder with lupus.
No, it ain't.
Because I think Nick Cannon got lupus.
Put you at a high percentage of development.
Nick Cannon got lupus. That's why he say he making all these churns. Because he gonna die, so he got to make all these churns. But that boy say he out here beating the ski.
That boy definitely got about 4 or 5.
He got 45 kids?
No, 4 or 5.
Oh, shoot, that boy got about 2, 3 women. Yeah, this year.
Yeah.
He must have just found out.
That boy be shooting.
And nothing but scallywags. Eczema is not considered to be a blemish of that regard. But it is a plague that's mentioned in the text. It's in Deuteronomy 28, to be specific. We didn't talk about that before. That's one of the curses. Come on here to Deuteronomy 28. That's that botch in the flesh. Yeah, we talked about that a long time ago. Yeah, that's one of them botches. That's a botch in the flesh. Come on to Deuteronomy 28. Yeah, eczema is not leprosy, but it is a plague. Because that's not normal.
That's it for you.
I don't know what leper disease is, Brother Harrison. I had to have somebody look that. I've never heard of that. 28.
We said the same thing about psoriasis. Psoriasis might look like it.
Psoriasis is a form of chickenpox, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought that was bad too.
No, that's scurvy. That's what pirates used to have because they couldn't brush their teeth. But I could be mistaken. But I think, because I done heard of psoriasis, I think that also be coming when niggas be having that doggone. That come from niggas not washing their hair good. If I'm not mistaken. I think that's severe dandruff. Oh yeah, that's unclean.
That's how you get rash.
No, rash like your skin, like up here. Like you get on your arm. Yeah.
Oh, that's uncleanliness right there. I tell you that right. It's red.
No, it's not red.
That means you ain't water.
That's unclean.
You ain't rock.
Yeah.
Psoriasis start with a P. Who knew?
Yeah, I did. It's just a long time since I looked at that word. Deuteronomy 28:27. It's like PHS or PSOR. Yeah, RRIS. Psoriasis.
Yeah. I'm looking like
Deuteronomy 28:27.
I would felt that at the spelling bee. They were ant.
Yahuwah will smite thee with the botch of Mizraim, with emerods, with the scab, and with the itch, whereof you cannot be healed. The itch. That is caress. That is itch, an eruptive disease. From the unused root, meaning to scrape. Now, you have the scab, which is Garav Opel. Yes, so that is a fact that Rohan just mentioned that leprosy is a bacterial infection. Same as mold. That's why mold is considered to be unclean. You know what I'm saying? You got mold, you got to get it. Any type of bacteria. Yahuwah ain't with none of that junk.
So that's pretty much bacteria under your skin that spread
around your body. The scab, again, is, and it's mentioned as scurvy or scab from itching, garab. No, it's been a long time. We didn't talk about this before. Got a little itch, little scab. I don't know if eczema causes you the itch.
That's right.
Yeah, because I've never had it.
Exactly right.
And then you got Opel. Now, this is what it says for Ophel, just so you know. It's an emerald, a.k.a. a hemorrhoid, tumors. So you get hit with that scab, you got some itchy hemorrhoids. Now the botch. The botch is shakim. It's a boil, an inflamed spot, an inflammation. As Rohan just mentioned, that eczema is a hyperinflammation condition because of how your body fights against anything that causes you to itch. And that's exactly what that botch is. It is an inflammation. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean you will have leprosy, but eczema is an inflammation of the skin, and there it is. And I think you probably see more black people in America with eczema than you probably do Caucasians.
Definitely.
Deuteronomy 28:35. Yahuwah shall smite you in the knees and in the legs with a sore botch that cannot be healed from the sole of your foot to the top of your head. Yeah, I remember that. We did talk about this years ago.
I remember thinking about the botch.
It's good to bring it back. And again, same word, shakim, and inflammation. I mean, a lot of the things, the malady, and then he said any disease that ain't written, that it didn't happen to you in Egypt, I'm going to bash you upside the head with that. That's why you see mostly niggas with, what you call that stuff?
That's what it say, mildew is hell.
What's that junk called that Prodigy had, man? Yeah, that's why you see niggas with that more than anybody.
That's a liver disease.
That's how they consider it, honestly. Yeah, that's right. Because, you know, it's a lot of stuff that Brew didn't know. But like I said, I remember that. We talked about that about 2015, about that eczema. That's one of the curses. That ain't got nothing to do with saying you evil or you this, that, there, and the third. That man say that's going to fall on your offspring. So, you know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, guess what? Guess what that lets you know? Your daddy, Brew, can't speak for you. Speak for his daddy, though. Because that's his seed. That's why I said that's his seed. Can't speak for you. Speak for his daddy. Look at you like, yeah, I buried me one. I'm in there.
Oh, in there.
Well, you know what I'm saying? Not being funny, but seriously, though. You see that? One of the children got eczema. That's just one of the curses. Curse could fall on anybody in the household, and nobody had to do anything evil whatsoever of the individuals in that particular generation. That's a perpetual curse. Son, your people did. Guess what? Your ancestors was in Jerusalem worshiping the tree. Now, little Harlem got to have eczema behind that. Probably not. I ain't saying that to be funny. We just read it. That man say that's continual.
Most people have eczema for life. It may taper off a little bit, may not be as severe at certain periods in your life, but you keep that pretty much for life.
Yeah, because I told you that it was fine this morning. It's back up now.
Yeah, because Yahuwah got to let you know I'm still here.
I ain't lying.
You thought I left.
I'm alive.
Yeah, that's what made it clear.
And I forgot because Rohan know that because he used to work with the dermatologist. Rohan said if it ain't gone by 33, yeah, you're going to have that for the rest of your life. 33 years old.
That's the number of completion.
Number of completion. That's what the Masons say. Back to Matthew 18. That's what they were talking about with what's the name? With Steph Curry and his parents. They talking about 33 years, it got to be Masonic. She round, but niggas should have looked at his mom and seen that was a freak hoe. Yeah, she around here twerking and busting it like this here. You gonna get divorced at 60 years old? Who the hell want a 60-year-old woman? That's ancient vagina. That's why she went and got a 50-year-old man. It could be possible. It also could be possible. I want to go. I hate this nigga. I can leave now. Matthew 18, verse 18. But after 33 years of marriage, you might as well just go ahead and ride that on out, baby. Just go ahead and ride that on out. Baby been married almost long as I've been alive. Just go ahead and ride that on out, baby. But see, this is the thing though. She didn't put the filing in for divorce till she had a new dude. She been a white man that they went to college with. Kira say Trey got white, dry skin like eczema on his back that comes and goes. She said it shows up about 2 to 3 times a year. It's just one of the curses, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a skin inflammation. He said you'll get the botch or a skin inflammation. All that proves to you is one thing. That man ain't no liar. That's what I'm saying. See, we can read that in English, and you look at it, botch. What is a botch? You thinking it's boils and bumps on your butt. The whole time, this man talking about skin inflammation. And like I said, I've never met a Caucasian that ever talked about having eczema.
Yeah.
I ain't saying that they don't get it. I just ain't never heard none talk about it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying they don't get it.
Yeah, that's right. They don't look bad for it. I can get that. I haven't seen that.
And psoriasis, that's rough.
That's bad.
That's on there rough. That doesn't look like somebody don't like you. Oh, yeah. Saran said his sister got it as a child, and Sean said his older son got it. Who knows, Saran? Your people could have been around there, coming up out there, agreed to that covenant too. I'm gonna smack you with it.
A lot of niggas get gout too. I ain't gonna no problem with that either.
No, I done met some white folk got gout. Well, that gout break you down. Get your back off there. What you got, Jeremiah 31 and 29? What you got for me, Dad? Let me see what you got for me, Dad. What verse you got, Dad? Just let me know what verse you got. Let me get this Matthew 18 out of the way. Who in here playing?
Let's see where you was at. We ain't supposed to be in the kitchen.
Hey, come here. Would you like to be thrashed? Whooped? Chastised? Spanked? Assaulted? Accosted? Would you like to go? Go find your mother.
I don't want nothing you have.
I desire nothing. Matthew 18 and 18. Truly, truly, I say unto you, whatsoever you shall bind on the earth shall be bound in Shamahim. Whatsoever you shall loose on the earth shall be loosed in Shamahim. Again, I say unto you, that if 2 of you shall agree on earth as touching anything that you shall ask, it shall be done for them of my Abba which is in Shamahim. For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there I am in the midst. Oh, the fire. Okay, I got you. Now, I could give you that, Rohan. Rohan mentioned that certain illnesses tend to exist prior to a nation's existence and is used as evidence against the people in the form of judgment, and that is accurate. Same way that he divided lands for the sons of Adam, there's certain things that happen to certain people as a form of judgment against that specific group of people. Based on the violations that their forefathers committed. There's a certain violation for the sons of Lot. There's a specific violation for the sons of Esau. There's a specific violation for the sons of Japheth. There's a specific violation for the sons of Ham. They say the sons of Ham would be hot. Them niggas sure look hot every time you see them. It could be 60 degrees outside. Them niggas look hot. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about them African niggas look hot all the time. All the time. Boy, them some ugly niggas. God, I'm talking about you. You know what I'm talking about? I'm for real. Not all of them, because some of them look like us.
Not all.
But boy, most, about a good 60 or 70%, them some ugly niggas. Bro. Nigga be like this here. You just saying she don't look good because she got dark skin. No, she ugly. Ain't got nothing to do with her skin. Her skin is fine. That nigga ugly. You know what I'm talking about? And that nigga look like a baboon in the face. You know what I'm talking about?
Baboon.
Ain't nothing pretty. Ain't no nice cheekbones. No nice chin structure. No nice doe eyes. No nothing. Just ugly.
Baboon.
Nigga think cause she walk around with a basket on her head, I'm supposed to be impressed. That whole ugly. You know what I'm talking about? But now, the 2 or 3 gathered in his name. Him being in the midst. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you got. What y'all think that could mean? Hey, little girl, you trying to eat your feet? Why you over there trying to do that? Nobody talking to you, boy. Nobody talking to you, boy. Renee. She's asleep. What y'all think for me on this Matthew 18 and 20? What's your problem? Why you got that hood on your head when I explicitly and specifically asked you to remove it? What y'all think this can mean now? When 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there I am in the midst of them. Well, let's look at the Greek words and get the Hebrew equivalent. Let's take gathered together. So again, it is synagogue, to bring together, to join in one. So if it's to gather together or join into one, if you got joined into one, what you got? You got a card, yet again. We don't even want to talk about being joined together. We'll just stick with being one. So if you're gathered together in his name, you're a card or one in his name.
The Spirit, him and the Father, all in one agreement.
He say 1 John 5. That's what he say.
I was thinking about you and me and I and you. I don't even know what that's in my mind.
Say that again. The roof got me throat. I ain't never seen her act like this before.
He said you and me and I and you.
Oh, you talking about John 17?
Yeah, that's one.
He say when 2 or 3 are gathered in his name, he is present in the midst. Y'all got some scripture for that? I'm giving you a moment to figure it out. Abigail, what you doing?
Yeah, John 7.
Get somewhere and sit down. Oh, you over there laughing.
Yeah,
what you laughing at, Ruth?
That they may be made perfect in one.
Yeah, you talking about John 17. But he said when 2 or 3 are gathered together, he in the midst, though. Where can we get that at? 2 or 3 are gathered together, he in the middle.
That's the state.
Maybe it is, maybe it ain't.
He was in the middle.
He was in the middle, but they wasn't gathered in the name. Not them 2 men there too.
They were about to die. They was really going together.
One did. One say, hey, man, shoot. Forgive me, cuz. Abigail, come here.
It was all together and together.
Hey, me shot them again.
Together.
You in here running? You look like you were running. Why you playing with your belly button like that? Why your fingers in your mouth? Who cut your eye? Who cut your face? How you cut your face?
She was looking at life hard where I'm from.
Who cut your face, Abigail? You cut your face? You fell down? The baby scratched you? Who scratched you? Somebody scratched you because your face cut. Who scratched you? You was in here running? Because you looked like you were running. What was you doing? You were walking? Oh, now you can talk. You can go.
Another one came to mind.
That's how I knew she was telling the truth. When she done did something wrong, she don't talk. She just look at you like this here.
But I'm not gonna say me shining Bendigo.
I like that, dude.
That's a fact.
It was somebody that looked.
It was somebody in the midst. They were gathered in his name.
There you go.
See, we got Genesis 31 and 44. Let's see what he got.
That was, hey.
That's a couple more.
I'm waiting.
No, it's a couple more. No, because you got Jacob and Malachim agreed together, and you were right there in the midst when he changed the name. No, when he talking about it in the midst, it ain't necessarily the physical in the midst, meaning he's there. Yahuwah's presence, his essence is there.
No, I get what I'm saying. Like that's literally the was three together.
But see, that wasn't Yahuwah. That was a Malachim.
That's good. You said Jacob rested on him.
That's what I didn't mention. They agreed together in one. Yahuwah's in the midst. You know what I'm talking about? You got a few others.
I was just gonna say no.
You got King Solomon, because when he sanctified the temple, he was 2 or 3 gathered in his name, and he was in the midst. Let's check out what I was already there. Genesis 31 and 44 that Civic put up with, man. Let's see what we got. We pick it up at 31 and 41. That's right. Abraham and Isaac on the Mount Saran got. Melissa just mentioned 3. The area got Genesis 2. Yeah, we're gonna run them all down. See, I mentioned this for a reason. Because I forgot what I was listening to. Somebody mentioned that, clicked in my brain. Couple other stuff went along with it. We'll take this here because all this stuff is dealing with renewing a new ruach within me, or a new or repaired spirit. Little Muffin. Little Muffin. I see you. Hey, Little Muffin. Hey, Little Muffin. Genesis 31 and 41. Thus have I been 20 years in the house. I've served. Sit up straight. Stop sitting like a nasty hoe. You a man. Sit up straight. Put your butt on the floor. Stick your legs straight out. Sit with your back straight and your chin up. You a man, ain't you? Then sit like one. You sit down there like no Instagram thought. What's wrong with you, son? You need a beverage? You hot? Yes, sir, Dap. He just mentioned that one. We're going to take a look at all of them in a second. Thus have I been 20 years in the house. I've served you 14 years for your 2 daughters and 6 years for your cattle, and you've changed my wages 10 times. Except the Alahym of my Abba, the Alahym of Abraham, and the fear of Isaac had been with me. Surely you had been sent me away now empty. Alahym have seen my affliction and the labor of my hands and rebuked you yesternight. Laban answered and said unto Jacob, these daughters are my daughters, and these children are my children. These cattle are my cattle. All that you see is mine. What can I do this day unto these my daughters, or unto the children which they have borne? Now therefore come, let us make a covenant, I and you, and let it be for a witness between me and you. Jacob took a stone, chief cornerstone, set it up for a pillar. And Jacob said unto his brethren, gather stones. And they took stones and made a heap, and they did eat there upon the heap. And Laban called it Jegash-Dutha, but Jacob called it Galed. Now let's look and see what the name of these cities mean, or what they call it.
Gotta rename that.
He said, I don't like this name. I'm gonna call it this. This man tripping. But man, this man just tracked back and tried to tell him that his sons belong to him. But guess what that means? All mine are thine, and all thine are mine. The first one here, Yega Shadutha, means witness heap. Laban called it the place of the witness heap. Jacob changed it to Galed, and just another way to say witness heap. Well, what is the witness heap? Well, he just mentioned it earlier. Let's look at it in 1 John chapter 5 for your witness heap.
He said child D, so he said some more serious.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna keep it brutal.
I'm gonna keep it brutal.
You can tell that one no brutal.
You say, hey man,
That's a serious talk.
So I don't talk this language. I don't talk that talk.
We're gonna keep it Hebrew.
1 John chapter 5 verse 6. I give you first vote on the house. For whatsoever is born of Alahym overcome the world. This is the victory that overcome the world, even our faith. That's right, lively stones. Who is he that overcome the world but he that believed that Yahushua is the son of Alahym? He that came by water and blood, even Yahushua HaMashiach, not by water only, but by water and blood. It is the ruach that bear witness, because the ruach is truth. For there are three that bear record in Shamahim: Abba, the Word, and the Ruach HaKadosh. These three are one. And there are three that bear witness in the earth: the Ruach, the water, and the blood. These three agree in one. If we receive the witness of men, the witness of Alahym is greater, for this is the witness of Alahym, which he testified of his son. Hey, come here, boy. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come on. Cut that junk out.
Really stay on your feet, man.
All that stamping your feet and acting like a female.
That's a female.
Get your emotions together. Now, why is this important? What did he say about Peter? When he asked Peter, who do men say that I am? What did Peter say? Yeah, what did Peter say? Peter made a statement. Oh, I forgot this was a size. The apostles did say. He said, yeah, and what did Mashiach say to him after he said that? He said, because flesh and blood have not revealed this unto you.
Well, the one I'm looking at, he said he charged no man to tell him.
It said before that. He said, and he changed his name right then, didn't it?
Yeah.
Called him what? Called him Cephas. And he's saying, upon this what? Upon this rock. So if he's the rock upon the house is built, that means the other people who are built upon them, because it tell you that in one of the epistle letters, we are built upon the foundation of the apostles, as Saran just mentioned, as lively stones. So you would be a witness heap, a bunch of pit stones or rocks stacked on top of each other as evidence of his covenant, or a witness heap. Let's grab the Genesis 2 because we already over there. Two and 15. Genesis 2 and 15. Yahuwah took man and put him in the garden to eat and to dress it and keep it. Yahuwah Alahym commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden you may freely eat, but the tree of knowledge and good and evil you shall not eat of it, for in the day that you shall eat thereof you shall surely die. Yahuwah said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make a helpmeet for him. Drop down to verse 21. Yahuwah Alahym caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam. He slept. He took one of his ribs, closed up the flesh instead thereof, and the rib which Yahuwah Alahym had taken from man made he a woman, and brought her unto the man. Adam said, this is now bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man.
Therefore shall the man leave his father and his mother and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. Now this is the thing. When she recites back that she wasn't supposed to eat of that tree, that means that they were in agreement. Therefore, Yahuwah could be in the midst of them. The minute that they ate from the tree, they were no longer in agreement with him. They were in agreement, but they wasn't in agreement. See, I seen somebody on the P, they were arguing about that passage about Satan lying. Somebody said he didn't lie. See, he did lie. But at the same time, he didn't lie. What he did is he did what people do. He appealed to your lust. See, everything he said wasn't a lie except for one thing. No, that wasn't a lie.
What did he say that wasn't a lie?
There's one thing that he said that was a lie. That you're not gonna die. That's the only thing that he said that was a lie. Everything else was accurate.
He said surely. I mean, right now.
Nah, but see, we'll look it up for the sure because the nigga, because the nigga on the show really said that.
I mean, not for sure. Later on, maybe. Not for sure. Later. Sure.
See on there with the surely, it ain't even. It's the same word twice. Moot. So when they say you shall not surely die, he just sat back and said death. Or that the serpent said, you will not die. So that's the lie. Because see, they look at it, because again, that's looking at it in English. That surely is looking at it like, no, it don't say that. He said that you will not move. You will not die. That was a lie. But your eyes being open and being as Alahym, knowing good and evil, that was not a lie. Because if you know the law, then you know righteousness. That means you know it's Alahym. That means your eyes open. That means you can judge between right and wrong. That is not a lie. But what he was cunning and he was slick and he was deceitful in the midst of throwing, because he had to throw a lie in there. And he threw that lie in there to sweeten up the pot. Because you got to put a little bit of truth with the lie.
That's crazy because he said the same thing in 17. He said the day that you eat of it, thou shalt die. So you
would say the same thing.
He said you shall surely die. He said you're not going to surely die.
So that's where the lie at, because Yahuwah told you directly that you were going to die, and he said you not going to die. So you chose not to listen to Yahuwah. So therefore, you were no longer a cod with him. Therefore, he could not be in the midst of you, which is why they got put out. Which is why he says that no dogs, no sorcerers, no murderers, nor liars can dwell there, because he's going to have to put you out.
And then another thing, too, he said you didn't even know what death was.
No.
Like, we all already alive, so you should just choose to keep living. How you going to say you're not going to die? You don't even know what death is. It was curious to me. You feel me? Like, it just show you how stupid niggas is. But
it's not even that see, this is the thing, Saran. He couldn't take away the threat of accountability. See, when you get down to it, the woman wasn't desiring to be accountable, because it doesn't matter what Satan said. You know what he said. He said, you're going to die. So irregardless of what Satan said, she already knew what the accountability was. And how do we know that? Because them niggas was naked, they was ashamed, and they went to cover themselves.
They knew someone right then.
So she already knew that. She was like, bump it. And then he come.
But that shows you, like you said, nigga was gonna die anyway.
You gonna die anyway. You were gonna die anyway.
That cool with that.
Well, what happened is it was supposed to be an example of the separation from him. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Well, just going to sit on the floor, boy. You're having bad luck.
He did. You know me?
Just have bad luck.
In the cool of the garden.
Just go and sit on the floor.
After it happened. I say he parked up in the cool of the garden after it happened.
Because he was like this here, where you at? He wasn't in the midst of him no more because they were no longer in agreement.
Yeah, I believe that. Like, I used to believe that when he made it.
That's the common thing, because nobody tell us any different.
I definitely believe that. When you hit that dust and then hit with that,
that is a wrap. You were never made. Adam was never made and intended to live forever. He was always going to die. He was always going to die. But then, if we didn't talk about this before, he had a chance to choose between life and death, and he chose death. At the end of the day, that's what he chose. And that's why, and what is that? That's why Mashiach had to come to disannul your covenant with death, because Adam is the first one who made an agreement with death, because he made an agreement with Satan. He made an agreement with Satan by taking hold of Satan's words. Because both of them had the words of Yahuwah, and they were in agreement, and he was in the midst of them. The minute that they no longer were in agreement with him, he was no longer in the midst of them. That's why he's telling you, we got more to add to it. That's why he's telling you, when 2 or 3 are gathered in his name, because if 2 or 3 are gathered, that means you have 2 witnesses. So where 2 people are bearing witness of Yahuwah, then Yahuwah will be present. See, one person can bear witness of Yahuwah and he can be present, but even still, it's still 2 witnesses. Because for him to be in the midst, the ruach bearing witness that Yahushua is the son of Alahym, and you bearing witness that the ruach true. So he in the midst. See, that we getting to that, because that's why they say we finna get to it. Because I heard brother, I think that was Gino. That Gino was going off on a nigga about that. Yo, stupid people out here baptizing in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. And the sad part is you see Bruce do it. Lack of understanding. Boy, nigga stand up and say he finna baptize you in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, just leave. Because he don't know what he talking about. Just go ahead and leave. Just go ahead and leave. Just say, you know what? We don't do that here. And I'm out of here. Because nowhere in the text do you see anybody say, I baptize in the name of the... No. But of course, we done talked about this before. Those men had enough understanding to know exactly what he was talking about. And if you don't know, you will know before we go. So let's come over here and look at Daniel chapter 6. Was it 6? It's Daniel 3. Oh, you want to fight, cuz? Yeah, you do. Come on over here and come get your son. Come on. Come on. I got a right hook for you. Well, I think I'm going to end up with arthritis, boy. God.
No.
Don't claim that, bro.
Sure. I ain't got to claim it. I can feel it.
No.
Nigga, my feet and my hands be hurt.
No.
Elderberry.
You know, keep the Sebi Jr.
Mmm.
See my elderberry, man?
And they say he look like him.
You should say that last week, Sebi.
Sebi brought him back.
I already know you use that because, man, arthritis coming from the lack of fluid in your joints. And elderberry is not going to solve that.
I don't know what that is.
No, arthritis is pain in your joints.
It just sounded good.
It just sounded good. Daniel chapter 3, verse 15. Now, of course, you know, these 3 young men were not willing to bow down and worship Nebuchadnezzar at the blowing of the flute and the cornet and the sackbut and all kind of music, and that they would be tossed in the fiery furnace. We'll pick it up at verse 16. And then, of course, they asked him, who is that Alahym that will deliver you? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer you in this matter. If it be so, our Alahym, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, he will deliver us out of your hand, O king. But if not, be it known unto you, O king, that we will not serve your gods, nor worship the golden image which you have set up. This is the part I would tell you, like, I don't see how dudes read this text and don't see that that's how that's going to play out in the end, and you thinking it's a doggone vaccine. You got to be a special type of stupid. You know what I'm saying? That's why I went ahead. I don't even share stuff like that regularly in public. That's why I shared that black lady talking about that junk, just so people see how stupid they is. Vaccines don't stop you from getting a doggone bacterial, a respiratory infection. They're not going to stop that. They're not even intended. They're not even made to stop it. And these people crazy because she was talking about in regards of them making vaccines mandatory and purporting to the public that this is going to be a solution, knowing that it's not. They know that that's not going to solve anything. They already know this. And stupid grown people are telling niggas follow the sign. I ain't never seen so many niggas trust the government before in my life. But then it's funny because they say most black people ain't got the vaccine, but I see more black people telling you to get vaccinated than white folks.
It might be, but they also say we the most unvaccinated group of people. So somebody lying. Nah, it's the other way around. Absolutely. Absolutely. But let me tell you something, boy. We only looking at it because you around black folk. Remember I told you before, they attack white people different than they attack you. Only difference between black folks and white folks is that most of these white folks don't trust the United States government. But they good and gullible because they follow after this nonsense them white folks got with consumerism, debt, and everything else, just like everybody else at a much higher pace. But when it comes to the government, that's where a lot of them white folks draw the line. I don't trust you. Especially not Sleepy Joe. They definitely don't trust Sleepy Joe.
I was just looking at the gullible nature of a nigga that's raised by a woman. Raising crackers not born at the rate without a two-parent household.
It don't matter. A lot of them crackers ain't men. Because guess what? When George Bush was president in 01, them white folks went for all of that. Al-Qaeda did this, Al-Qaeda did that. We need to go to Afghanistan. We need to go to Iraq. They went for all of that. And it was a lie. And they sat here looking stupid. They went for all of it. Every single solitary bit of it. That's my point. That's why I told you they attack everybody different. Not a lot of them don't. But the only way they gonna want to go is if they feel like they have been attacked. But that's natural with anybody. That's natural with anybody. If any group of people is attacked, they're gonna want some vengeance. But you ain't never seen black people in power to know if they would want anything. No, we don't want peace.
Trust the government is more niggas love their government benefit.
The reason why people march for peace because they were manipulated in believing that that's the thing that they should do. But that's not a level of, that's just the level of manipulation. Because when somebody came and told them to fight, they would have went and did that. Because they don't talk about them slave revolts and all that other stuff when them boys were buckets. That's not, and that stuff happened regularly. Do you know what I'm saying? So that stuff happened all the time. They're just not going to promote it. See, they'll give you a Martin Luther King, and they're not going to give you that dude who had the pistol and went through murdering everybody. Because it's how I want you to think. You know what I'm saying? See, they had to manipulate them by saying, see, these big bad Arabs, they ain't even manipulate them on the tip of they blew up our trade center. They said they're going to bring Islam over here and make you a Muslim. That's what they manipulated them. They're going to try to take our Christian values. Yeah, they told them, yeah, if we don't come get them, they're going to bring Sharia law over here and your wife going to have to put on a burqa. You're going to have to worship Allah. And they want to take your freedoms away from you. You can't worship what you want to worship. You're going to have to be a Muslim. That's how they manipulated them back in 01. Oh, yeah. That's how they did it. Yeah, that's how they came at him. They came at him on, you're going to be a Muslim. It was, but the fear was the Muslims want to take away your freedoms. See, what they were spreading in 01 and 02 is that they want to make Sharia law be all across the world and make the whole world be Muslim because it's technically more Muslims than it is Christians. So that's the angle that they actually took, because they had these white folks walking around with Qurans and they stop and try Arabs coming out trying to tell you what the Quran actually say, because that's the angle they took in 01. And then people went for it. And they came with the weapons of mass destruction. And then they came out and said, oh, we ain't even find none. And it was too late. Now you was over there killing people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they manipulated everybody. Yeah, weapons. And guess who they trotted out there to tell that lie? A black man. They tried to Colin Powell out there to tell that lie.
I remember that.
Trotted right on out there to tell that lie. Because you know why? Because it was beneficial. Because now I think one of them just died. Donald Rumsfeld just died. I think Dick Cheney's still alive. You know what I'm saying? Those men were in bed with defense contractors, and we need money to go to war. It was big money. Let's go. They had already planned this out. And they said, you've been planning this all. Son, I've been planning this all week.
We're trying to get that opium too.
Shoot, they ain't tried. But see, that was in Afghanistan. There wasn't no opium in Iraq. You know what I'm saying?
Where's Colin Powell now?
Who's Colin Powell?
She said where?
Shoot, that nigga old, living his life. That nigga probably about 80.
I know he's about 80.
You gotta remember, he served under George Bush daddy. So he probably was about 45, 50 then.
Shoot, she tried to buy an NFL team. But he was Joint Chiefs of Staff under George Bush Daddy, which is the highest military position that a man can hold. And then he became Secretary of State under Lil Junior. Shoot, I think he was Secretary of State. No, Donald Rumsfeld was Secretary of Defense. Yeah, but Colin Powell was first. He stepped down. She wasn't there the whole 8 years. She took his place. She had a secondary position. Yeah, I don't know that shoot. Colin Powell, the one they trotted out there. They say talking about the weapons was out there. Shoot, I know who was Secretary of Defense. That was Donald Rumsfeld. He was the one telling them lies, talking about the Pentagon. Yeah, he's thinking behind you and died. Evil bastard. He good and stank. Wicked bastard. Well, we have verse 18. Yeah, you ain't lying, Melissa. That's definitely what they like to use. They like to use religion to separate. It's easy. You know why it's easy to use religion to separate? Because most people don't know what their religion actually means.
There's a lot of emotions involved in religion.
And ain't supposed to be no emotion involved. Ain't that about a stinking hole right there? Verse 18, he say, but be it known unto you, O king, that we will not serve your gods, nor worship the golden image which you have set up. Then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury, and the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. He spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 7 times more than it was wont to be heated. And he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and cast them into the burning fiery furnace. These 3 men were bound in their coats, their hose, and their hats, and other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent, the furnace was exceeding hot, the flame of the fire slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. That was you who were going ahead and taking them out. These 3 men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down, bound in the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonied and rose up in haste and spake and said unto his counselors, did we not cast 3 men bound in the midst of the fire? They answered and said unto the king, true, O king. He answered and said, lo, I see 4 men loose walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt. And the form of the fourth is like the son of Alahym. But what were these 3 men in agreement on? I ain't no idol worship. I ain't no idol worship. I don't worship other gods. We do a lot of things, but we don't do that. Your mammy can do it. I ain't gonna do it. But this is the importance of what we're looking at, because you're asking for him to create in you a clean heart and to make you a new spirit. Now, you already mentioned the John 17. Sister Melissa just mentioned John 17. Let's take a look at it to get to the point of what we're here for anyway. We read last night, right? You have one heart, right? We just read there's 3 that bear witness in heaven. Who are those 3? The Father, the Word, and the ruach. And the 3 that bear witness in the earth is the ruach, the water, and the blood. He said, if we receive witness of men, the witness of Alahym is greater. So when you receive the witness of Mashiach, then you have 2 agreeing in one. Therefore, he can dwell in the midst of you, or you can receive the ruach. See, a lot of us look at that with the aspect of what he's talking about, 2 or 3 being gathered. Some people just feel like, oh, 2 or 3 gathered in his name. People just feel like, oh, we go to church, we gathered, he's there. Oh, no, ma'am, no, sir. Do y'all remember what that psalm says, that you ought to give praises with what? What did he say you ought to give praises with? He said you ought to sing praises with what? With who? No. Not Thanksgiving. What y'all know when he say you ought to sing praises with what? No. She caught him with a stiff jab to the chest. That nigga grabbed his nipple on that one, boy. I'm talking about that nigga caught a quick one. That nigga grabbed his nipple. There you go, Kira.
What you hitting with, Kira? Tell us.
Understanding.
There you go.
Understanding. Yes.
Come over here to Psalms. I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Yeah, show me.
Y'all know it. Y'all have seen it before.
I know. It's just so much shit to say about singing praises, bro. Praises, that's a tight one, boy. You gotta do.
That's a wide
gotta do the show, yeah, boy.
Chicken 8 ways.
Hey, you know what I mean? That's why. barbecue, fried, grilled.
Let's take a look at Psalm. Let's look at this one here. Let's look at Psalm 49 first. Psalm 49 and 1 first. Let's look at 49 and 1. Hear this, all you people, give ear, all you inhabitants in the world, both low and high, rich and poor together. My mouth shall speak wisdom, and the meditation of my heart shall be of understanding. So the first thing is, when you're talking about meditation on the word, the meditation of your heart should be with the insight of the text. Now let's look at Psalms 47. I read all of it. Psalms 47 and 1.
There you go.
Oh, clap your hands, all you people. Shout on the Alahym with the voice of triumph. For Yahuwah Most High is terrible. He's great king over all the earth. He shall subdue the people under us and all nations under our feet. He shall choose our inheritance for us, the excellency of Jacob, whom he loves, Selah. Alahym has gone up with a shout, Yahuwah with the sound of a trumpet, the returning of Mashiach. Sing praises to Alahym, sing praises unto our king, sing praises, for Alahym is king of all the earth. Sing you praises with understanding. Alahym reign over the heathen. Alahym sit upon the throne of his Kadash. The prince of the people are gathered together, even the people of the Alahym of Abraham. For the shields of the earth belong unto Alahym. He is greatly exalted. One of the biggest things that people look at is, you can praise this man all you want, but you're supposed to praise him with understanding. If you don't praise him with understanding, your praise is useless. It's useless. Then what he said now, he say, sing you praises with understanding. Let's look and see what Hebrew word for understanding is present there. That means that's circumspect. That means you know what to do. Y'all know what's to call it. That to be prudent, to wisely understand, to give attention to consider, to have insight, to have comprehension. And a lot of people don't sing praises with comprehension. That's why I said what I said last night. These niggas talking about the mark is a doggone vaccine. That boy ain't got no understanding. He ain't got no comprehension. This nigga's an idiot of a special degree. 1 Corinthians chapter 6. Then I get John 17. I say stuff like this here to like to be fun, but all seriously though, you have to look at certain stuff, right? People say certain stuff, it shows if they got understanding or not. That man say, with all you're getting, get what? He said the fear of Alahym is wisdom, is beginning of understanding. This man told you to meditate with understanding. The first thing Yahushua said to his disciples, he said, you without understanding too? Because that means you don't got insight on what I'm talking about. That man said, if you lack understanding, you worthy of death. To receive understanding is not a minute thing. It's not a thing just to be cast to the side as if it's irrelevant. It is of high importance. You lack understanding, you got a problem. Because again, wisdom is to know what to do and what not to do. Understanding is to know why you do it or why you don't do it. But most importantly, understanding is insight into the will of Yahuwah. And most people don't have it. That's why you have so many divergent doctrines. That's why you have people arguing about the things that they argue. That's why every time something happens, somebody comes, this is fulfilling a prophecy, because you lack understanding. And when you lack understanding, you're going to lead people to death. Because let me just go ahead and just cut onto the tape. If you ain't got understanding, that means you're not one with the man. And if you're not one with the man, then he can't be in the midst of you, because 2 or 3 are not gathered together in his name. Because what does it mean to be in the name of Yahuwah? It's to be one with his name. What is his name? Yahuwah Alahym, abundant in goodness and truth. That means faithfulness. So if you don't even understand his faithfulness, then how could you be a cod with him? That would be impossible. And since you can't be in cod with him, and again, understanding is not, I know this verse, I know that verse, I can answer this question. That's not what that means. It's insight, it's prudence, it's comprehension. You understand exactly what this man is saying and why he is saying it.
It's not about the ability to recite verses. It's not what it's about. I'm trying to think of something where you can sit back and look at to know you had the insight to do something. Like if you cook, you have understanding on how to cook a particular dish. You know how long to cook it for. You know what to season it with. You have the insight to know what to do. Nobody ain't got to come tell you, do you understand what you're doing? You already know what you're doing. What did Philip come up to the Ethiopian eunuch and say? Understand what you read? Do you have the insight and comprehension on what you read? Everybody sitting in this room had a time when they opened up that word and you had no idea, have any level of understanding on what this man was talking about. When you begin to have understanding on what he is talking about, the scriptures go to be something that seems to be so complex to the most, for lack of a better term, the most remedial thing that you have ever read in your entire life. Meaning this is the most simplistic thing I've ever seen. What this man wants us to do, what he's telling us to do is very simple to understand. This is not difficult, but the reason why it's difficult for people because it is closed off to individuals because they lack understanding. And they lack understanding because they don't believe. And when you don't believe, how are you going to have insight on something you don't believe in? That doesn't make any sense. But people feel like that this is any other book and you can just open it up and read it and understand. And that's not how this book works, because you're going to have the insight. And the only way that you can have the insight is how the book tell you this. Somebody has to give you the instruction to give you the insight. Without the insight, you're going to be lost. I put it to you this way. It is only a handful of things in life that an individual can teach themselves how to do what they have insight. You hear about self-taught musicians, self-taught artists. There's only a handful of things in life where you can do that. Most people gain insight and understanding from the things that they have understanding on because someone instructed them in the matter to give them the insight on what to do and how to do it. You'll hear people say, there's no instruction manual on being married. Yes, it is. It's called the Word. They'll tell you there's no instruction manual on being a parent. Yes, it is. It's called the Word. You just choose not to utilize it. I heard that my entire life. There's no instruction manual on being a wife, being a husband. That man told exactly what to do. But see, the insight on what he has to give in that, people don't want to do. It doesn't appeal to them. It doesn't appeal to you to raise your kids like this because you want to raise them like that.
Where was I going at? That song, you ain't saying nothing.
You still at John 17.
Oh, I was going to 1 Corinthians chapter 6. Look at 6 and 15. Little Muffin. Hey, little Muffin. Hey, little Muffin. Hey, little Muffin. Come on, little Muffin. Hey. Hey, little Muffin. What you doing?
Go sit down on the other side where you're sitting.
1 Corinthians 6 and 15. Know you not that your bodies are the members of Mashiach? Shall I then take the members of Mashiach and make them the members of a harlot? Alahym forbid. What? Know you not that he that is joined to a harlot is one body, for two, saith he, shall be one flesh? But he that is joined unto the Lord is one ruach. Remember, we read that in Genesis 2. So Adam and Eve being joined together, they would have agreed as one, because he said this is what? Leave that alone, little mother. He said this is flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone. They agreed in one. The only way they wanted to be a God, they have to be one. That way he can dwell in the midst. Here's another instance what I'm talking about. 1 Peter chapter 3. And then we'll get to John 17. If I can get to 1 Peter 3. We got to get off here. We at 2.5.
Be quiet.
1 Peter chapter 3.
You can pick it up at verse 1. I really need 7, but I have to read everything. Likewise, you wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conduct of the wives, while they behold your chaste conduct coupled with fear, whose adorning, let it not be the outward adorning of plaiting the hair, wearing of gold, putting on of apparel, but let it be the hidden man of the heart, and that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet ruach, which is in the sight of Alahym of great price. For after this manner in the old time, Kadash women who also trusted in Alahym adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands. Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters you are, as long as you do well and are not afraid with any amazement. Likewise, you husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the mercy of life, that your prayers be not hindered. See, now this is the point. That last part. That the man has to know how to dwell with her according to knowledge. Because if not, then the prayers would be hindered. And why would the prayers be hindered? Because two would not be gathered together in his name. Therefore, he could not move on your behalf. Remember what Yahushua said in John 17, I pray for who? Them. I don't pray for the world. So if he's praying for them, those two are in agreement. Therefore, he can answer. See, two people being together, they're supposed to be in agreement. If they're not in agreement, then they can't have those prayers. Not see, it's not no. Oh, I'm gonna answer her prayer and answer his prayer. That man don't operate like that. See, the prayer is gonna be hindered because of the man. If he don't do his job, that means hinder means it's gonna stop him. You know what I'm talking about? So, in order for that to happen, they have to be a cod. And unfortunately, in this society, people are not being taught to be one. You're taught to be, oh, we're two separate entities coming together. No. It's one mind, one heart, one way. It can't be no other way. It can't be two people going in different directions. Even in natural life, you know that's going to be a hindrance. John 17. Y'all ain't got to worry about it because y'all finna get ready to go out the door. John 17 and 20. Neither pray I for these alone, but for them which also believe on me through their word, that they all may be one as you, Abba, are in me, and I in you, that they also may be one in us, that the world may believe that you have sent me. Now, remember this here, what Yahushua told them people? In John chapter 5, he said, you say I bear witness of myself. He said, my Abba bear witness of me. He said, it's written in your law, at the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let the matter be. Come over here and look at it. Come over here and look at it. John 5 and 30. I can of my own self do nothing. As I hear, I judge, and my judgment is just. Because I seek not my own will, but the will of Abba which sent me. If I bear witness of myself, my witness is not true. There is another that bear witness of me, and I know the witness which he witness of me is true. You sent unto John, and he bear witness unto the truth. I receive not testimony from man, but these things I say that you might be saved. He was a burning and shining light, and you were willing for a season to rejoice in his light. But I have greater witness than that of John, for the words which my Abba have given me to finish, the same works that I do bear witness of me, that Abba have sent me. And guess what? Of course, you know what he turned into. You better search them scriptures. For in them you think you have eternal life, and they're bearing witness of me. So look at that. Think upon that. But we'll stop right there. So hallelujah for Yahushua in the word. Bless everybody at the house of Alahym in the name of Yahushua. Hopefully that made that clearer. Of what he means, 2 or 3 being gathered in his name. Yahuwah willing, man, we'll pick this up on the next one. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Of course, trumpets, atonement, and tabernacles is rapidly approaching. We'll get the times and all that stuff for you on that. What? And yeah, so Yahuwah willing till that time.
Yeah.
I'm going down, baby.
Hey, children.